We did a video a while back about Fat Joe and the things he said about our people, foundational Americans.
That was the worst business move you could make by doing that. All right? So now, because you don't understand, if we pull out, you don't got no things.
Right. You're going to be just like Busta Rhymes in a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Once we pull out, that's it.
Once we pull out, you're going to be going to your shows.
That's
Only 5 people going to be in there.
That's it.
Right, so we did the video, Fat Joe, he was, you know what I'm saying, catching a lot of flack on the internet. People wasn't feeling him like. So what I see now is he got a new podcast. I don't know, yeah, with Jada. Now I don't know if he made that happen, or his manager, or his agent, or maybe even Jada people made it happen. I don't know.
No, Jada didn't do that.
But it seems like to me he's trying to mend, like fix whatever issues between himself and Foundational Americans. I guess Jada is Foundational American.
No.
He not. I never heard him about him being Caribbean.
Yeah, but his father's from another,
Oh yeah, so he.
Or something, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not even okay. So maybe it's not he trying to fix things between Foundational Americans. That's what it seems like to me. He was trying to fix between himself and Foundational Americans.
Well, but the best way to do that is to post apology, just
right.
like as much as he did it for everybody to hear it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So he can make that go viral, his apology.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, from the impression that I'm saying, you know, I don't think he's ever gonna like how can I say blend with us or whatever, you know. I don't think he's ever gonna do that because I don't think he wants to do that.
What do you mean? You said blend?
Yeah, like in other words, like support us like we would support him, or you know, like keep it, you know, like this is my brother. No matter what, this is my brother. We could argue, fight, and all that, but that's my brother. That's my brother. You see what I'm saying? I don't think he has that in him to be like, yo, you know, I made a mistake, such and such and such. This is what it is. Let's go from there.
Oh, right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know,
I believe it's the situation with him, because Joe is people's. He's, you know, a lot of us in the hip hop, or even out of the hip hop in the R&B communities, we all, you know what I mean, come from the same, you know, hood and all that. Might not started certain things at certain time with each other, but we all combined to be as one, you know, as we came up, right? We all combined. Joe a liar, first of all. Joe, you a liar. I mean, I'm saying straight up and down. You straight liar. I don't know. I got a man like that. This dude just lied, just to lie. I mean, what's wrong with you? Like, he just lied. I don't know. Maybe it's because he want to. Joe is big as it is. He don't need to lie.
But why do you think he's lying though?
Because
about what? About what?
He fabricates a lot of things. He fabricates. It's not the point that this is what gets him to make himself.
No, like the likes. In other words, just like on social media, when you have likes. So if you say something that somebody is going to be interested in, they're going to give you a like. They're going to say, you know, and I think he does that. I heard him say something about, you know, he saved Tupac and all kinds of just lies that don't even make sense.
A lot of things. See, Joe, he may don't understand that a lot of us been around we've been around.
Right. That's the
he
part.
Could be saying something, don't even know we was there.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
So we not on this like that. We just started really getting on it. But Joe don't know. A lot of things he talk about, a lot of people I know or us or whatever, we was there.
We was there,
see what I'm saying? So if we there, and you saying something crazy.
Crazy.
It's like,
Right. We looking at you like, yo,
Yeah, like
that
you-
shit is crazy.
And I'm saying
that shit didn't happen.
and
We was
look,
right there, standing right there.
I got love for Joe in my own special way because Joe did his thing. Now, don't get me wrong. He put the BX, did his thing. I would never not give him his props for that. He did his thing. You know what I mean? But what happens with Joe is he tries to, in my own perspective, he tries to belittle people.
Right.
Like the people that's not there
Right.
with him. Like I don't know if he in Rock Nations or whatever. But they gotta remember they came from where we came from. Without us it wouldn't be no you.
Right.
That's straight up.
Right.
Without us it wouldn't be no you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Without the Puerto Ricans that he left behind, the things he did with Cuban Link and all that, with TA and all that.
Right.
You gotta remember he came from the gutter with them dudes. Man.
Right. And that's
You know
a
what I'm
big
saying?
thing.
That's
that,
why he was saying when he was saying
Right.
your brother's your brother. Yeah, y'all can have arguments and all that, but at the end of the day, that's your brother, man. What you doing? Like, yo, you just like, you know, you
Loyalty.
Yeah, okay.
no loyalty. And so, that's something that we grew up with. Loyalty. Like, remember when we used to flat leave each other?
Yeah, and all that.
You
Be
come
mad
back,
as
we'd
fuck,
be
come
like,
back.
yo, what the
Yo, that
fuck
was
you
fucked
doing?
up.
That was some fucked
But
up
it's
shit.
a lot of things,
No.
even in the hood, that we did to each other, right?
Right.
To this day, like we might have did certain shit, because you grow up, your brain ain't really developed like it's supposed to be.
Right.
You don't have wisdom knowledge to understand what you're really doing at the time. See what I'm saying? So you do things, but if you gonna call somebody your brother, you know what I mean? Because I see how he just flipped the script on him because he's with another team like Rock Nation or whoever he's with, right? Not knowing without them, it wouldn't have been no you. Without punning all of them.
Right,
You know what I mean?
and that's that kind of hurts in a sense, if you're gonna somebody gonna help you to do something, and then when you do something, that's just like, and I hate to bring up his name, but that's just like Herc. You see what I'm saying? Kool Herc is the one. If it wasn't for Kool Herc, for giving big and number whatever, and then you leave Kool Herc out.
That's what I'm saying. How did that ever happen? Because
I'm saying?
see, Herc, we was there when all that was taking place with you and Kool Herc and all that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kool Herc was that dude that was
he
really
showed you what was dressing.
I wore Pumas. I wore all flavor Pumas, just the same way dressing, looking. I shopped at AJ Lester's. I wore G Money clothes.
But wait.
Let's go.
We going
I'm
too fast.
He showed you the slang. He showed you who to hang out with, who not to hang out with.
He showed you the hip and the hop.
Right, he showed them the hip and the hop. He showed you what America is, and then not only America, the Bronx, and you know what I'm saying, New York style and everything. And then you get to a plateau, and I
remember.
Go for self. Right.
Yeah,
I remember one time I was watching them on the joint, right? And I seen them say, I'm the only, I said, well, what happened to Kool Herc and Clark Kent and all that?
Right.
What happened to them? Like, even
He's
with
the only one.
Even with
it's them
the
and
nigga
only
twins
him.
and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? You ain't mentioned none of these dudes. Like, but
Because
Southside,
it's for him and his.
So
Dancing Dog and all
So
that.
you're saying it's similar with Fat Joe?
Yeah,
Right.
Basically. It's like, that's why I told you, we were speaking one time in an interview, and I was telling him, I said, when you get money, it's like, you forget about everybody else.
But you know what? But look,
I'm just saying.
right? Trying to be objective, right? I heard Fat Joe say, yo, when I first got on, I was bringing my whole squad, and everybody was eating lovely at night. Because he said spending how much a night on food and dinner? For thousands on dinner. But then he realized something, I think at first he was holding everybody down. But then it may get to a point where people want something for nothing, maybe. I don't know. He would have to tell that story.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Understandable, right?
If that's true.
The case, right? Even if it's like that, right?
Right.
You can love a dude from a distance. You don't have to not love him. You could just love him from a distance. You supposed to sit down with them and told them, listen, man, I'm getting ready to go.
He said that. He said that he sat them down. He got them together and told them.
He said that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then if you said that, Joe, and they couldn't understand it, right? You still had means to come back, right? And get with them and say, listen, bro, you know what I mean? Y'all may think I got it, but some things you got to do on your own.
Right.
It's nothing personal
Right. It's
to
nothing
y'all.
personal.
This is something that other people, just like what happened with Nipsey, right? When they took him, they was trying to take him out of, you know what I mean, and put him in this by himself in mainstream.
I want to talk
You see
about
what
that
I'm
too, right, Nipsey? But we're still on Joe for a minute.
But no, I'm just showing
But didn't
you
he
the
keep it real
comparison.
with Remy? And she from the hood. She from Castle Hill.
Well, I
Didn't he
can't
keep
tell
it
you
real
what
with her?
I can't tell you what he is. I'm just going by.
He took her with her.
I'm just
with him.
allegedly talking about between with him.
But we don't
he
really
talking
know
about,
that, though.
TA talking about and Cuban Link is talking
But
about.
Cuban Link, from what I understand, Cuban Link was never his man, though. Cuban Link was Big
Right.
Pun man, his right hand man. So when Pun passed away,
Okay, but listen,
it
you
became
gotta
an
remember
issue
one
or
thing.
something like that.
If it's just like if I put you on, right,
Uh-huh.
and we started out with a group.
Right?
No matter how much I go solo somewhere else, right? All right, it's not. It's always gonna come back to the original source, the group.
Right.
I got to keep some kind of rapport with them, no matter
Yeah.
what, because
Yeah.
that's my money too.
Right.
That's
right,
my
right,
money.
Right.
If you doing business, do business. Don't take this thing personal. Do business. Say, look, I get it, this and that. But
Right.
yo, look, all of us got to do this. The Terror Squad got to get together and we got to do this. But we all make money.
But
That's how he could have made money with them.
you made a point though when you said that okay, he tried to bring everybody along with him. Think about it this way. I don't care if I'm getting $1 million and my brother's getting 1,000. I'm gonna spread the thing
love,
with
I
the
got
love
it.
with him because I know if he had $1 million, he gonna spread the love with me.
You got to remember.
Yo, we used to remember going to pizza shop and
Man.
splitting the pizza.
Yo, like the
Cut it in half, tell me cut it in half, right? Yo, remember that?
Listen,
though? 35
and
cents,
we
yo.
go right there.
Right,
But
Freddy's
listen,
Pizza, yo.
Everybody, see, you got to remember one thing. As well as the Cheddar Squad, they got to remember, everybody's not like them. They might be looking at it like Joe should have did this. Maybe Joe wasn't supposed to do that. You putting them in a position where you really can't say that. Because how you know if they picked you out of the Cheddar Squad if you would have did the same thing.
Right.
Now, I don't know what's really going on. Allegedly, we talking about, right?
Right.
Something to take a look at.
Right.
Something to take a look at.
Something to take a
Don't
look
mean
at.
right,
Don't
wrong, or
mean right or
different. We
different.
just speaking on it. We ain't saying that's the truth.
Right.
We're just speaking from what we hearing.
Right.
That Joe, he after Pun, he became the poster.
Right.
He the poster. You know what I mean? He knows. You can see that from all walks of life in the industry. Every time they come out with a group, they always try to grab one of them, the main character, and make him just the poster. Right? So if you don't learn from them going through it, like the Temptations, all of them went through that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody goes through that. But where do you keep the leverage with your main sources, which was the ones who started you off? Okay. You know, you can say what you want. Yo, we can do this and that.
And from my understanding, Pun wrote a lot of his rhymes.
Yeah. Well, and
Pun is originally from the Soundview area. Pun is from our area originally, you know what I'm saying? Academy Garden.
Right.
Shout out Academy Garden.
He said he wrote a lot of his stuff. He was his ghostwriter. So if somebody's my writer, right?
Yeah, you gotta big them.
I can't do that. I mean, even because you know what? What comes around goes around. It's gonna bite you in the ass. No matter how much you think it's not, it's gonna bite you in the ass. And then you ain't gonna have the support from the right people, not the light people. The right people. You see what I'm saying? He don't have support from the right people. Then he goes and do other things that makes other people don't want to support him. You know what I mean? Now, this podcast thing he came out with, the only reason why I believe that it probably, if anything, if it spark off, I think it's from Jada. Because Jada got mad love.
He got
Joe
love.
got mad love too. Don't get it wrong. But
I think Joe's love
flipped.
declined.
He wishy-washy.
Yeah, he declined.
See, he's so wishy-washy.
But is the podcast his way of getting back good with quote unquote black people?
No. I think it's because, like we were just saying, he declined in love, right? So he went and got somebody to get in the love, constantly getting the love, and now he's down with them. But
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, he's down with getting the love. He ain't down with being a part of the people.
Okay.
He getting a part of getting the love. And we said that a long time ago. People ride the wagon. They jump on the bandwagon.
Now, if Joe go down like a 4 pound, right? Something to take a look at. Don't mean it's right, wrong, or indifferent, right? Just something to take a look at. If Joe go down where all the foul niggas go, not dead, I'm just saying, if say he fall off like a bad package on the block, right? Joe, ain't none of them dudes gonna come at Joe for Joe.
Nope.
Ain't none of that.
And that's what I'm scared for Jada.
Because if it was like that, why they didn't come for Cuban Link? Why they didn't come for TA? You see what I'm saying? Because they was part of Joe.
Right,
when they fell off, why ain't nobody? It's other people in that industry that know them, just like they know Joe. Why they didn't go and say, look, TA, I know Joe ain't looking out for you now. But yo, I know you the ghostwriter. Yo, I want you to ghostwrite for me.
Armageddon, all of that.
I want you to get Cuban Link, bring him up here. It's other people. That's what I mean.
Right.
It's like it's every man for himself. It goes back to what I said about hip-hop. It's an attitude. Because hip-hop is telling you today what it is and where it came from. It's telling you hip-hop come from an attitude. It never changed. Hip-hop was a negative attitude from the street. It's a straight attitude. It's a street mentality. That's why you see the street mentality starting to form all over. Because it's going back to its original source.
Right.
It's going back to the streets. If you bring the streets somewhere where the streets ain't not, it's going to remain the streets, no matter how you put it. If you have a street mentality, right, and you don't fix your brain to understand that, yo, this kind of mentality is not going to work, right, then it's going to happen again. And it's going to keep happening. Only go back to Diddy and Cassie, right? We're just going to go there for a minute.
Right, yeah, I want to get into
I want to go back to Diddy and Cassie. You know what Diddy did? He brought the streets to the industry. That's what he did. He brought the parties that we party right to the